and welcome to the new year. I'm Ro and today I am making a Christmas book haul video where I basically show off the books that I got for Christmas. So let's get started. First up we have the Bane Chronicle by Cassandra, Clare, Sara, Reese, Brennan, and Maureen. This book consists of short stories pertaining to the character Magnus Bane from the Mortal Instruments series and the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra, Clare. These stories are spread out over time and are intermixed with the stories of Mortal Instruments series and the Infernal Devices series. We also have these very pretty cartoons by Cassandra Jane. Second on this list is Percy Jackson's Greek Gods. This book is huge. If you don't know, Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Riordan is a story about Percy Jackson, who is a demigod, meaning that he is half mortal, half child of a Greek god. And this is the story where we, through Percy's eyes, get told the story of the Greek gods. So it starts with telling how the world was created according to Greek mythology, and it tells of all the Olympian gods. And in Percy's voice, and Percy, if you've read the other books, is pretty awesome. And it also has these lovely illustrations. I read the first part, which is how the world was created and the story of the Titans and how the gods came to rule. But then there was the stories of the individual gods, and I've heard several versions of those stories many times. Like, for example, the story of Persephone and Hades. I've heard dozens of versions of that story. Well, so I really like reading these stories. I'm probably gonna keep this waiting for a while. The next book on my list is The Iron Trials by Cassandra, Clare, and Holly Black. This book is about Callum Hunt, who has been told that if he goes to this sorcery academy, oh, book's falling, he will die, and he tries to not pass and get in, but of course you do. I haven't even started reading this, but I've seen a lot of people make reviews about it. Basically just the first part of the synopsis of it. I've never read a book by Holly Black, though I do own one that I have not read yet. But I have, of course, read a whole bunch of books by Cassandra Clare, and that is why I got this book, because I'm very intrigued, and I've heard good things about it. So that should be pretty good. I need to get going with the reading again. I have been way too bad at that lately. Next we have 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. This book is about a girl called Marguerite. Her parents are inventors, and they have invented this thing that makes it possible to jump into parallel universes, and then they get killed. And the guy who does it, or most likely does it, uses this technology to jump into a parallel world and escape punishment. But Marguerite knows about this, and she follows him, and craziness ensues. Once again, a book that I have not read and therefore do not know much more than this. I'm intrigued by how this looks. I think it's gonna be really fascinating to read about these parallel worlds. What's the differences between them? What kind of worlds they are creating? And lastly, we have Snow Like Ashes by Sara, Raasch? I'm not quite sure, I'm sorry. As far as I understand, like, the seasons are different places in this book, and this girl, Mara, is part of winter, and they have been taken over, and there is something that will probably get them their power back, and she goes on a quest for it. Like all these books, I don't really know too much about them. Both these books were books that I found when I was going on to Amazon to look up a couple of books that I knew that I wanted to wish for Christmas, and I came across these and they seemed really cool and very interesting, and so I just added them to the list. But I don't really know too much about them, really, and I have never read anything by these authors before. I don't even know if they have written anything before. So, the Bane Chronicles I've already read. I've read several of the stories before, and I finished off the rest of them on, like, Christmas Day. The Percy Jackson's Greek Gods I am leaving at home and will read when I get back home and have that as a little thing to get back to. But now you know I have Snow Like Ashes, 1,000 Pieces of You, and The Iron Trials that I'm gonna read. And since these are all the first book, or possibly standalones, I don't even know properly. But since none of these have books prior to them, and I don't really know too much about them, I'm gonna try and make book talk or review videos about these three. But first, I still need to get through Allegiant, which has moved like 0 since I last showed this to you. But I also first and foremost have school. I am moving back tomorrow. In fact, I probably already moved back, because I probably won't have time to edit and post this tomorrow, so I'll probably be back in Falun by then. Goodbye!